What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another top 10 for you guys today. And we're on the Extinction map, and you guys guessed it. Today we're doing the top 10 dinos for general use on the Extinction map. Now guys, like the previous videos, I am trying to cover all bases here, PvE, PvP, all those sort of aspects while balancing everything out. But guys, if you find yourselves enjoying the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment if you agree with the choices or not. As well as that, guys, feel free to check out my PS4 service if you guys have access to a PlayStation 4 console. But without further ado, guys, let's jump straight into the video. So guys, coming in at number 10, a bit of a different one. I don't think we've ever actually included this creature on a list before, believe it or not. And you can currently see him behind us. At number 10, we have the Arthropleura. Now, this guy is a great mount to have for PvP, and that's the reason why he's at number 10. In terms of PvE, he isn't really that great, but at PvP, he really shines. This guy is able to attack and damage metal structures. You can see here, this guy has damaged this plenty. He's in for 291 on these metal structures. Now, this will also work on vaults as well. It's a very intense sort of creature. Now, you obviously need a lot of things to tame this guy up. Bug repellent as well as broth of enlightenment. They're just the kibble ones. So this guy is really good for PvP, which is why he's at number 10. He is a general use creature. He's exclusive to the Extinction map. This has been the hardest map to make this sort of video for, because literally every single creature except for like the Phoenix spawns in on this map. So I've put aside the basic ones, like, you know, your resource ones and all that sort of stuff, and we've gone for something a little bit different, which hence why the Arthropleura is at number 10. But guys, without further ado, let's move on to number 9. Now guys, coming in at number 9, we have the Wooly Rhino. This guy spawns on Extinction, and he is a great mount to have for PvP as well as for PvP. He can go around gathering bushes, he can go around pretty much demolishing any creature he comes up against, wild or tamed, which is why he's on this list, because he's great for both those purposes. You know, he's able to deal crap tons of damage to PvE dinos or to, you know, enemy dinos, as well as enemy player dinos, you name it. You can also use this guy as a berry gatherer or to transport goods across the map, since he's got such a large stamina pool and such a large weight pool. Also, look how heckin' cute he is. Look at him bringing himself on the ground. He is bloody adorable. So this guy is really amazing for that, and I'm pretty sure he also does provide hypothermic and hypothermal increases. I'm not sure if it's him or if it's the dire bear. I think it might be the dire bear, actually. Wow, so pretty much one of these guys increases your durability against the cold and the heat. I think it is the dire bear though. But the Wooly Rhino is still a great mount to have. You can use him against Gigas, and he will easily wreck the face off the Gigas as well. Enemy Gigas, wild Gigas, you name it. This is one of the strongest creatures to use. So guys, let's move on to number 8. Alrighty guys, now coming in at number 8, we have the first Extinction specific creature, I guess you could call it, the Snow Owl. This guy can only be tamed on Extinction, which, you know, makes him all the more valuable, I suppose. The Snow Owl comes in at number 8. Now, this guy is an awesome flyer. He's one of the fastest flyers due to his dive ability. He also has the ability to freeze enemy dinos as well as normal dinos and freeze them and heal them. Now, he can also heal himself, which gives him the ability to act as a soaker for turrets, because you can essentially fly up, pretend there's like a turret over there, you can fly up and you can soak with your Snow Owl. Get a decent saddle on him and he will protect you from turrets like so. Once you've taken too much damage, you can then drop yourself, heal yourself back up to full, and then go back and soak again. The Snow Owl is really great for that, as well as that he also has the thermal vision, which allows you to detect players and enemy dinos, which I do believe you can use to actually find buried creatures such as reapers and basilisks, I'm pretty sure. So that's great for you to use as well. As well as that, he also is pretty good against wild dinos. He can deal some decent damage for that PvP aspect of things as well. And if you ever find yourself getting into a pickle though, you can just fly out and freeze yourself, as well as freezing the enemy dino. It's really good for that. He's definitely one of the better flyers in Ark, and I would heavily recommend taming up a Snow Owl. That's why he comes in at number 8. So guys, let's move on to number 7. Now guys, coming in at number 7, we have the Therizino. This guy is great. He's great for dealing damage, he's great for gathering, he's like the jack of all trades. He does everything for you. You can use this guy in PvP because if someone comes out at you on like a medium-sized Tame, like say a Stego or a Trike, trying to soak, you can actually stun them and knock them out off the back of their mount, leaving their Tame practically useless if they've got it on passive, which makes things a lot easier on you as you are pretty much able to just kill it straight up using the explosive damage of the Theri. Literally, like it does 158 damage per hit. This thing is crazy strong. And these guys can also be used on bosses. I wouldn't use them on the Titans, but like you're going to be finding them on other maps, so you will be able to transfer them. You can practically transfer any of these dinos, to be honest. But the Theri is just an all-out powerhouse. He's able to gather thatch, he's able to gather wood, he's able to gather berries, he's able to gather fiber. You name it, this guy can do practically anything. Only downside is he doesn't reduce the weight of it in his inventory, but you know, that's not too bad because he is able to gather all of those resources. As well as that, he does have the delicate and power harvesting levels, which you can actually increase as well to increase the amount of resources you gather from the respective move. So this guy is absolutely awesome, and I do love me some Theri action. So guys, let's move on to number 6 now. Now guys, coming in at number 6, we have the Enforcer. The Enforcer is another exclusive creature to Extinction, and this guy he's really good for just going out to the wasteland, completing drops, and just killing a bunch of stuff, because he essentially does 4 times damage to corrupted creatures. You can see here we hit for 109 on standard creatures. If we come up to say this corrupted Stego over here, you'll see that we'll hit for a lot more, 439, which is 4 times the amount of our standard damage. Now, we haven't actually leveled this guy up at all. He is a 150 though, so these guys can be pretty costly to make, which is a bit of a downside. However, once you do get one, you can easily run drops with these guys. I wouldn't take on any of the crazy hard ones because you'll find that their health does not go up too much and they don't actually have a saddle, so you won't get any sort of extra armor. But you can pretty much buff these guys melee damage up to deal a crap ton of damage. But as well as that, they do need element dust to continue running, since they aren't technically a living thing, they're more mechanical. But these guys are really great for that. As well as that, they can blink, so pretty much a teleport, and they can also climb up structures, very similarly to the Rock Drake and the Megalania. I would definitely recommend using one of these guys on the lower tier drops. I probably wouldn't take it to like a red or a purple one. Definitely keep it to like the yellow and the blue one. So guys, let's move on to number 8. Also, they're good for the element nodules because, well, you can essentially use them to kill all the corrupted creatures that come to attack the element nodules. So guys, let's move on to number 5. Now guys, coming in at number 5, we have the Gasbag. The Gasbag is another creature exclusive to Extinction, and this guy is one of the best turret soakers in the game. As well as that, they have a huge amount of weight, so you can easily ferry all the goods and items that you get from that juicy raid back to your base using this guy if you so choose to. They have like 4,000 weight, it's ridiculous. There you go, there you can see 5,160 weight. They are the creature that has the largest weight in the game, the largest base weight in the game. These guys are absolutely incredible, and I would totally recommend using these guys. Essentially, all you need to do is walk backwards to the base and constantly suck in air. Now, as well as that, you don't even ride on the saddle, so if you get yourselves a really strong armored saddle, you can easily reduce the amount of damage your Gasbag takes. As well as that, these guys do utilize sweet veggie cakes, so you can actually restore their health at a pretty decent rate using sweet veggie cakes, and these guys are really easy to tame. All you need to do is build a trap around them, kite them into the trap, and then simply knock them out. I'd heavily recommend using a Gasbag to soak a base and enemy turrets if you so choose to. These guys are really worth it. So guys, let's move on to number 4. Now guys, coming in at number 4, we have another exclusive creature to Extinction, the Velonosaur. This guy, whew, this guy is really something. This guy is essentially a turret dino. You can see here we're literally unloading all over this Stego right now, and we just absolutely just destroyed him. He's just covered in so many of our spikes. Now, these guys are great base defense dinos because they have a turret mode, and they have recently patched it so that these guys utilize stamina while shooting. So you want to make sure that you pump these guys' stamina up, and that'll enable them to shoot for longer. Don't pump melee damage up if you don't plan on riding them, as they do not get any sort of buff from melee damage while in turret mode. For example, let me just quickly show you. So you saw before we were hitting for 58. Let's just spawn in something real quick. I don't know if this is going to work. There we go. You'll see there. He's hitting for 20. 20 per bullet. If we jump on him and we switch over to turret mode, you see there that we hit for 58. So there's no point in buffing up his melee damage if you plan on using them just for turret mode. You want to go purely in stamina so that these guys can shoot for longer and faster. Definitely would recommend getting a bunch of Velonosaurs for your base defense. As well as that, these guys also have the ability to jump. They're great for PvE because you can essentially go around taking out anything. If you transfer off and go to Rag, you can use these guys to take on the Lava Golem. As well as that, they've got this, I guess you could call it the shotgun kind of attack, where it's a close range sort of unloading attack where it just hits everything in range. You'll see here, look at this poor trike, getting absolutely demolished by it. It's not as fast as the standard one, but you know, it still does the job. Now, another thing that I forgot to mention is that this also has the ability to ground flyers. So when you shoot a target enough with the Velonosaur's attack, you can actually ground flyers. Pteranodons, I don't think wyverns are affected, but you can essentially ground any sort of flyer aside from wyverns, which is really, really good for PvP and PvE as well. But guys, let's move on to number 3 now. Now guys, coming in at number 3, we have the Gacha. The Gacha, once again, is another pivotal tame to have on Extinction and all the other maps, but because we're doing this one on Extinction, obviously, we're talking about Extinction. So the Gacha produces resources of varying types. He can produce multiple different ones, and you can obviously tame up different Gachas to get different resources. As well as that, when you breed them, they will change what resources they are able to produce. For example, this one can produce black pearls, blue crystallized sap, silica pearls. So this one alone is a pretty damn good one. Now, as well as that, you can also get upgraded materials and gear from them. As if you chuck in really solid like structures and stuff like that, you can farm them along with adding snow owl pellets. Since snow owl pellets increase I guess you could say the potency of the quality of items they produce. But aside from that, that is pretty much all you want to use Gachas for. Make sure you keep them in a pair, otherwise they will get sad like this and they won't even look at you in the face, because they're a bit weird like that. The babies don't have that effect, but when they get up to adults, they will. So yeah, that's all there really is for the Gachas, guys. You know what they do and everything like that. So let's move on to number 2. Now guys, coming in at number 2, we have the mech. Now, why this guy isn't technically a tame, he is obtainable on Extinction, and I mean, yeah, he's technically a tame because he's a robot, but just because he's a dino doesn't make him any different. Don't be racist against robots, guys. So this guy is really good for using on the Extinction map and any other maps. He's got a lot of PvE uses, essentially taking on the Titans. You will pretty much want to use one of these guys to take down the Titans. It is one of the easiest ways. Can we get off this rock face, please? There we go. As well as in PvP, you can use this guy to obviously attack bases. He does deal damage to metal structures as well with his attacks. Now, he does have 3 different types of modules. He's got a rocket blasting module, which you'll see here. Can we fire him? Fire the modules, mate. There we go. There go the missiles. So that's the missile one. It does decent amounts of damage, you know, it's nothing crazy. You then also have the tech, I mean, it's a shield sort of, essentially. Puts a force field, a barrier around you, which is really good. You know, this is once again really useful for PvP situations. Not so much PvE, because the most you can defend against is like what the Ice Titan's snowball attack. That's pretty much it. But you can call this back whenever you want to, boom. The next one is the cannon, the siege cannon. Now, this one, whew, really do like me this one. So you gotta wait for it to be lined up, and that is essentially how it works. This one is probably the highest damaging dealing module you can get for the mech. Let's fire out and show you guys. Can we fire again? There you go. You can see there, 392. This one's really good for using on the Titans, as it's very specific and very targetable, and it also looks pretty damn badass just chilling on your back. I definitely recommend getting your hands on a mech. You can get blueprints for these guys to make higher quality tier ones. The one you unlock on using your basic sort of engrams is only level 51, so you can get better ones. As well as that, he does use element to power himself, so you will need to have a steady supply of element as well for that, guys. But let's move on to number 1, guys, and see if you can guess who it is, because I'm pretty sure you should be able to, but let's find out. Leave a comment down below real quick who you think number 1 is. Let's go. Now, guys, coming in at number 1, we have the Titans. These guys, whoo, do they have their uses on Extinction? And, I mean, you can transfer them off as well to the other maps, but they are obviously exclusive to Extinction. Now, these guys you can use for PvE purposes, because you essentially want to use these guys to take on the King Titan for your Ascension and to unlock the rest of the stuff that he offers. To pretty much finish Extinction, you will need to use Titans. Now, if you are playing on your single player world, you will permanently tame these guys up until they die. They are yours, which is really handy, and like I said, you do want to use them for the King Titan. But in PvP, these guys are what you can use to pretty much raid the alphas on a map. Even if they're not alphas, you can still use these guys to raid. They have a very large health pool, and they deal a heap of damage, and they can obviously punch through metal, punch through turrets, you name it, these guys can do it all. Now, you can obviously use any of these Titans to do so. All of them have their own sort of particular skills and their own sort of way of traveling. Personally, I like the Ice Titan and the Forest Titan. The Desert Titan's a little bit too slow for me, but that doesn't mean to say that he is useless. He is the only flying Titan, so you can essentially cover the terrain really damn quickly, and he can also throw down lightning bolts, which, I mean, you know, who doesn't want to throw down lightning bolts, which is pretty damn awesome. Now, as well as that, you can also just go on a munching spree and just attack everything with this guy, essentially in bases and whatnot. So I would definitely recommend utilizing this guy if you've got a base that you want to raid, or any of the Titans if you've got a base you want to raid, or if you want to take on the King Titan, use these guys as well. I definitely recommend them. They are very good, and I really do like the Titans. So guys, that's going to wrap up the video for today. Let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments. Let me know if there's anything you change, anything you add. I'd really appreciate it. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.